Hello and welcome to this James the Bike Guy, where today we're checking out Trek's Domane AL5. This is the Gen 4 version that just came out, and it's a heck of a road bike to pack in all sorts of features for a sub $2,000 price. So in this video, we're going to go into what those features are, talk a bit about how the bike rides and where it would go, and then we'll end off with exactly what it weighs. Talking Trek Domane. Now, this particular Domane comes in a fairly neat paint job, this almost green color. I forget exactly what it's called, but with these bronze or copper accents, including the hubs. But it also comes in a more traditional Trek black, a matte black color as well. But if you keep a close eye to this, you'll notice that there's quite a bit of changes compared to the Gen 3 variant of this bike. Now, I did a deeper dive into the Gen 4 version, but in this video, I want to focus on what you get at sub $2,000 here in 2024. Now, this bike being an AL5 means that it's going to have what they call their 100 series alpha aluminum. So it's an aluminum frame that's going to be shaped and butted. You've got full integrated cable routing that's coming in up here at the head tube into the headset race. So it keeps the cockpit super clean, super minimal. And you'll also notice that going down to this OCLV carbon fiber front fork, not only is the bike running a through axle up front, but it does also have a matching head tube down to the crown of the carbon fork. So really cool integration. And the whole frame is just slick and pulled together in a way that the Gen 3, which was quite nice, but was not quite as polished and buttoned up as this is. And many of those buttoned up features just continue on. So looking back here, this is one of the first road bikes to run UDH. So that's SRAM standard for a universal derailleur hanger. So the piece that comes down for your derailleur to hang off of, this is now universal between a whole bunch of brands. It really got started in the mountain bike side of things, but cool to see that it's brought over to the road bike, of course, with a through axle out back, 12 by 142. Up front, we've got a threaded BSA bottom bracket, and then the frame is just covered in mounts. So, of course, up top, you've got your bento box mounts for hydration or nutrition. You've got a down tube water bottle mount, a seat tube water bottle mount, and then down just beneath the bottom bracket, you've got another set of mounts there. So lots of places to be able to carry stuff. Fender mounts up front, and then out back, you've got fender or rack mounts available for the bike. So you can really kit this up like Trek's demonstrator photo that I have up on the screen with a whole bunch of things to allow this bike to really be adventure-oriented. And that's an important distinction to talk about when we're talking Trek Domane. So Domane is their upright endurance road bike. And what that means is this bike should be a nice, compatible companion on a long ride. And long, well, that depends on every rider. You know, that could be anything from a 25-mile ride for somebody who's really building themselves up, or taking it out on a 100-mile charity event, and even a multi-day bike packing adventure or credit card tour. So really cool that all that is wrapped together. But maybe more so is that this bike, being the AL5, the 5 indicates what part specs are on the bike. So this starts at AL2, which is an inexpensive bike with Shimano Claris beginner drivetrain material. But as you step up, the AL5 indicates that this bike is coming with Shimano's 105 drivetrain. So this being the brand new 105 from Shimano means that we're talking a 12-speed rear and 2 gears up front. So brand new technology. It's the only 12-speed drivetrain from Shimano that is still mechanical. They do have a Di2 or electronic shift option, but this being the AL5, being budget-focused and really pulled together means we're talking mechanical. So up front is a 50-34 chainring combination on this 105 crankset. Out back, we've got the new 12-speed 105 rear derailleur, and then we're rocking an 11 to 34 tooth rear cassette, all coming together to have a super wide range drivetrain. So lots of uphill gears, lots of downhill gears, a full spread to be able to enjoy a huge range of terrain. And speaking about terrain, well, the comfort of this bike is going to come into the positioning. Part of it being an endurance bike means that the handlebars are going to be a bit higher and also a bit closer to the saddle than, say, a traditional performance bike, race bike, kind of like their Madone. And this handlebar is going to have a nice shallow drop, so the position between hoods to drops is nice and close. And then it pulls in the Shimano 105 shifters, which the inside button will put you to harder gear, pull lever over to an easier gear, and when you pull back, that's going to be operating the hydraulic 2-piston calipers clamping down on 160 millimeter rotors. Now that hydraulic braking system is going to give quite a bit more confidence over prior generations and certainly over the old style of rim brakes, but it also allows for some additional tire clearance to come into play. The Domane and Gen 4 variant is spec'd to be able to fit a 38 millimeter tire. Now it is coming from the factory with 32 millimeter tires, but I gotta say, even a 40, well, it might fit. They do say 38, but I wonder if there's a bit of wiggle room. The wheels themselves are tubeless capable. It is spec'd with some tubed 700 by 32 millimeter tires. And this would be a place that personally I'd really upgrade if it was my bike, because I'd want to put those tubeless tires on, be able to run them at a slightly lower tire pressure, get a bit more compliance and comfort out of the frame, as well as just lighten up the bike a bit, because those R1 tires, well, they're not the lightest ones that are out there. Final bits to mention, it is featured with the new Verse saddle from Bontrager. This is a truncated nose saddle. You'll see it's kind of much shorter than you've seen in the past. That's going to help take some pressure off your perineum, and everything just comes together to a pretty sweet looking ride. Well, now that we've taken a look at the features and the designs of this 2024 Trek Domane AL5, let's go ahead and find out what it weighs. And the actual weight of this Domane AL5 in a size 56 comes in and weighs 21.3 pounds. Thank you for joining me to check out the 2024 Trek Domane AL5. This bike seems like a pretty sweet deal for sub $2,000, albeit by a penny. It is still coming in just below that mark, and it has a full 12-speed Shimano 105 drivetrain, tubeless capable wheels, a 100 series aluminum frame with nice wide tire clearance and upright position. Seems like a pretty hard one to beat. So go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is there a better bike? Do you like this one? Whatever you want to say, as well as browse the channel and hit subscribe so you can see more videos like this in the future.